Clement Moore reads, A Visit from St. Nicholas. A heartfelt thanks to Clement Moore for creating the iconic images of his poem almost 200 years ago. The story of St. Nicholas is the journey of a good bishop from the east to the west that began almost 1700 years ago as the spirit of love and giving that visits on Christmas Eve. The story of St. Nicholas is that of a bishop of Myrna. Myrna is an ancient city on the Mediterranean coast, East Mediterranean coast, in what is now Turkey. And his example is that of love and giving. The story goes that St. Nicholas would visit the poor in his village, and as he was visiting, he would secretly open his purse, and take out a gold coin, and the families would hang their stockings on the chimney to dry overnight. And what he would do is he would drop the gold coin in the stockings. And you can imagine the surprise of those family members when they found that coin, that gold coin that following morning. And of course, they would realize that it was had been left by St. Nicholas. Well, the story of St. Nicholas traveled from the east to the west through Germany, where St. Nicholas becomes known as Santa Claus. And from there, he travels to the Laplands of Scandinavia, and then farther north to the land of ice, snow, reindeer, and elves, where he dresses in fur from his head to his foot as protection against the biting cold. And here, along with 886 elves, he works to make toys for good boys and girls in his toy shop. And Santa also assembles a team of coursers to help deliver those toys in a sleigh. And what are coursers? Well, coursers are any swift animals, such as a horse or reindeer. Dogs, charged with the task of drawing a wagon, sleigh, or a sled. Well, in this instance, Santa uses reindeer to pull a sleigh to deliver toys. Well, here in North America, Clement Moore lives with his family, specifically on the island of Manhattan, just north of the growing city of New York, where Mr. Moore and his family celebrate the love and giving of Christmas by sharing gifts or presents, Christmas presents. And they're also fond of visiting friends and neighbors in a horse-drawn sleigh. And in that sleigh, they like to sing, and along with the jingling of the bells, which jingle as the horse trot to make spirits bright. Well, the night is upon us, and the family, Mr. Moore's family, is gathering around the fireplace to hear stories of ghosts, which is very popular at the time, telling ghost stories in the evening, and also tales of long ago. And here, Mr. Moore has written a story to share with the children, with the wife and children, at nightfall on Christmas Eve. Here, the children are whispering among themselves what they hope to be their Christmas gift, and also about sugar plums, which are candy canes and gumdrops, which they hope to find on Christmas Day. And what's your wish for a Christmas gift? And what do you think's in this box? Do you think it's what you'd hope for Christmas? Or might it be a surprise? Well, that is a surprise. Well, well, the night is growing late, and not a creature is stirring, not even the mice. And the children will soon be off to bed, all tucked in for the night. And the stockings are hung by the chimney to dry. And Father dons his sleeping cap as he gets ready for bed himself, and is about ready to read his story. So, a visit from St. Nicholas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the night, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutter, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh with 8 tiny reindeer, and a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away all. As dry leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop his coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flying on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was turned up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and then he turned with a jerk, and laying a finger alongside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Well, children often ask after this reading, how does Santa deliver all those toys in a single night? Well, Christmas Eve is a long night. It's one of the longest nights of the year. And Santa, though he may be old, he's still lively and quick. And reindeer, more rapid than eagles, his coursers they flew. More rapid than eagles, that's fast. And of course, Santa has a few tricks up his sleeve. And lying a finger alongside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. You try that. And of course, practice, practice, practice. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, believe. There's magic in believing. Children also have asked, am I on Santa's nice list? Well, the reindeer told me through the elves that, from the elves, that there's always room on the nice list. And finally, how does Santa's sleigh fly? Well, magic reindeer. And where do reindeer get their magic? Christmas spirit, of course. And what's the best way to spread Christmas cheer? Again, the elves are heard to say, by singing loud for all to hear. So let's spread a bit of Christmas cheer by singing, Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He knows if you've been sleeping. He knows if you've been good. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. All right. So, with my reading of A Visit from St. Nicholas and a publication in the New York Troy Sentinel the following year, 1823, Santa Claus finally arrives in North America. So that's the lively and quick story of Old St. Nick.